So is he on? Hey, what's up, Kai?
How's it going? I'm one of those guys, like what you guys are just talking about. You always wonder if that's the lucky box, right? If that box has a Holy Grail or that one card that you're looking for, you know. And for me, coming from Hilo, we don't have any types of sports cars place besides Walmart. That's the only place you can go and buy anything, right? But I was one of those guys that, fortunately, man, I just went on a hot streak, found one box, and in that one box, there was a black one-of-one Lamal, card. And that kid's 16 years old, plays for Spain, won up, scored in that, got the MVP, and all of a sudden his prices just starts going through the roof. I sent one of my cards to alt auction, and it just sold. It set a record for $53,000 that one-of-one card sold for.
Wow. So that's the card that was in the video?
Yes. Yeah, that was the card that was in the video, and a lot of people were telling me you should buy a house, you should buy a car, you should do this, you should do that. And what I wanted to do was put the money back in the industry, instead of take the money and go do something else. So that's why I dedicated to build the shop. Whatever the proceeds that we get from there, 100% is going to go to building the car shop in Hilo.
The thing that threw me, numerous things threw me. I've been collecting since I was 8, 9 years old, and I've never pulled anything, nothing. I can't even tell. They just did whatever that thing's called. If you're opening a shop, you'll know, where everybody picks a number and a break. Is it called a break? Is that what it is? So Ryan Westner from Rhino Cards put my name in one, and I at least won an autograph something. I still don't know because he hasn't sent it. But the thing that threw me was that it was A, soccer, B, a youngster, not any of these legendary names that we continue to hear about. And now that you told us the price, it's like, I may have to go buy a box and throw the money away and just hope that I get lucky.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm telling everybody. This can happen to anybody, anywhere, any given time. And I've never collected soccer now. I never collected soccer, but my son lately was telling me, hey, Dad, you should go buy soccer. I'm always a baseball, basketball, football guy. I was like, I don't know nothing about soccer. He's like, no, there's this young kid you got to buy. He's supposed to be the next Messi. So I'm always after the chase. I'm like, okay, well, let me go get this. I went to the card shop, and the guy told me $300. I'm like, whoa, man, that's kind of expensive for a box. So I said, okay, well, fine, I'll buy it. And I'm opening it in the shop, and then now I start complaining to the guy, like, man, $300. I'm not even getting no numbers. I'm not getting nothing. Right? And then he looks down, and he goes, oh, there's a black card. And I turn around, it's one-of-one. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a kid. And I start yelling, and we just start going off.
What a great story.
But then this is where the strange things comes in, okay? This is where it gets really weird. So now I'm all happy. I put a one-of-one. I'm telling them, man, this is a $75,000 card. So I thought, you know what? Give me a box of baseball. Give me Topps Chrome. So you give me Topps Chrome. I open it up. Then there's a one-of-one Garrett Cole. I'm like, bro, it's my second one-of-one. And now I'm just ecstatic. I'm screaming. I'm all over the shop. So I tell him, give me one more box. He gives me another box, Topps Chrome baseball. I put a gold super refractor, one-of-one, another one-of-one card. And this is Jeff Bagwell, Hall of Famer. I'm like just ecstatic, losing my mind. Now I'm like, I gotta go home, and I'm celebrating my drive home. And now everyone's telling me, you should go buy a lottery ticket, you should go do this, do that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel like I need to buy another box. So the next day, I kind of take a break, right? I'm still ecstatic over this black one-on-one. The third day after that, I go to Target, just buy a regular $25 box of soccer. It was right there, Donner. I said, oh, I'll get that. It had a one-of-one gold Lamal card in it.
Wow.
I put 4 one-of-ones in 3 days, and it was just unheard of, to where people thought I was cheating. They thought I was using CAT scans and metal detector and all these different types, like, ain't no possible way you can do that. So now I'm taking this car to the Nationals. I'm going to go and sell it. I go up there, and nobody has that type of money. They're like, whoa, that's just too big for us. Like we don't even know what that car's worth. So I send it to Out Auction, and I give it to them, and they give me $18,000 up front. And they go, oh, man, these cars are going to be good at auction. So the black card is on auction right now, but the gold card sold on Thursday. It was on a 2-week auction, and that gold card sold for $53,000. And now this black one's on auction. It's at $8,000 with, I think, 9 days to go.
Holy cow! All it is
Yes.
for a $900 investment. You bought 4 boxes, $925.
But, well, actually, yeah, because that box at Target was only $25. So it was like, yes, it was $925 is what it cost me.
I'm going to take the opposite side just for a minute. As a longtime collector of cards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, when does it stop? I mean, I can afford it. And the day that I spend $300 on a box of cards will be 6 days after I'm dead. Because I never do that.
You know what's funny? I mean, yes, a lot of kids or like a lot of people will tell me, like, oh, man, I want to get into collecting now. I want to do this. I said, you know what? Get into drugs, get into alcohol, get into crack cocaine. Don't get into cards. You know what I mean? I will buy you your first beer. Let me get you to alcoholism.
Right.
Don't get into cards. Right? It's going to be worse.
So let me ask you this about the shop that you're going to open up. How do you determine, as a shop owner, what you're going to sell? Are you going to have those $300 boxes as well as, I don't want to use the word reasonable, but for reasonable people that they could buy the $25 box like you did from Target?
Exactly. That's exactly my goal, is not to have those big, $300, $600, $800 boxes, but to have the more affordable boxes, more retail boxes, because you can still put a same $50,000 card out of a $25 box that you can out of a $600 box.
Well, Kaainoa, how are you going to resist the temptation of opening every box that you supply yourself?
Well,
so that's the real problem. That's where the addiction comes in at.
Right.
And I think what I'm going to have to do is do like what all the other card places are doing, and doing those breaks, right? Because the breaks is what kind of cures your addiction. Well, you still get to rip the card and rip those packs, but now you got to give it to somebody else.
Well, and the same is that you have to transform from a collector to a business owner. And I don't know if you watch whatever the pawn show is in Vegas. That guy buys all this stuff and his kid's yelling, yeah, it's going to go to your house. You're not going to sell it, when you're running a business. But that's the advantage of the break for sure.
Yeah, and that's another tough thing, is separating your personal collection from business, right? I mean, of course, I want to keep every number one card I pull, and I want to keep all these cards, but at the same time, it's business, like I gotta let it go. And in my mind, I keep thinking, like, yeah, it's all right. I just sold a Jordan rookie. I can get another Jordan rookie.
Well,
So that's how I guess I gotta think as a business owner, not so much as a collector.
Well, the number one golden rule in business in the drug game is never get high on your own supplies.
Yes.
Be careful breaking the box open, my brother.
Let me ask you this: which would be more difficult? And you've already sold the one, so it's probably going to be an easy answer. Is it harder to sell the one of one $53,000 card, et cetera, or would it be harder to sell whatever you're a fan favorite of, a very rare, very unique card? Which would be harder to move on from?
The fan favorite, because I mean, I'll give you an example. Mark McGwire was my number one guy growing up, right? And I got all these Mark McGwire rookies, and it's not really worth very much anymore. There are some that's worth a lot of money, but not compared to some of the rookie cards that's out now. But I mean, I'll never sell my Mark McGwire collection. Even though it's.
I just sell mine.
Kaainoa, also, the Big Island went through that tragic fire recently, and they're still rebuilding out there. So you're opening up a shop there. It might actually boost morale, right, on the island.
Yeah, and then also for the kids, because there's a lot of kids that want to collect cards, but they just can't. There's nowhere to get it, right? And then especially soccer cards. I mean, soccer's worldwide, and the card value on soccer is a lot more than baseball, football, and basketball. However, you just can't find any packs to buy it. So with the card shop, I'm hoping when it comes to like boosting morale and building up the community, it's going to do it through sports cards. And I'm hoping that somebody now can pull one of those cards from my shop, and my shop be the one that sold that $50,000 or $100,000 card that some kid pulled.
Let me ask you this. You've expressed you screaming, you hollering, your excitement. What was the card shop owner doing as you were freaking out?
He was just as freaked out as I am. I mean, as I was. He was like, "Don't! You're bending the card. You're bending the card. Don't jump around. Don't scream." I started giving him a big hug, and he's one of those guys that just don't like to be touched. And he's like, "Oh."
And I know that we haven't said this. You said that you got it sent off and it got rated. It got rated 10. It's a 10 out of 10. So it's a 1 out of 1 card rated a 10, which is extremely rare. And that's why the value is what it is.
Yeah. Yes. And then, even though some people see a 1 of 1 card, it doesn't really need to be graded because it's the only card. But that PSA 10 still brings a value. People still want to know that, man, that's the top condition card there is.
So obviously we're talking about new cards, new breaks, new value established by the industry of what they put in circulation, 1 of 1s and such, gold versus black. But what about like this week, the Babe Ruth jersey sold for a record $24 million. Are you going to do vintage cards from like other eras that still hold value in your new shop?
Yeah, yes, vintage cards 100%. That's where the money's at, too. I think when was it? The UFC's very first box that they came out with, right? Hardly anybody was collecting the UFC cards, so nobody really bought those cards when it first came out. But right now, if you try to find that box, it's somewhere like $3,000 just for that box.
I had so many of those, I just gave them away.
Yep.
We gave them away.
I just gave, but I was like, I had the guy from Topps on my Fox Fight Game show all the time.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Fullerton.
Yeah. And he would bring boxes to me and leave them in a studio, and I would just hand them out to people. Like, it didn't mean anything to me. Right. And now I'm here. I could have sold it out.
Man. Saka, I don't know if you remember, Saka, but do you remember the UFC 100 show? You was doing that interview and what's the name? Kicked your leg, and then they were passing out those little octagon coins.
Uriah Faber.
With Uriah Faber, Uriah Faber had his one. BJ had his one. Leonard Garcia had his. Yep. So. Yeah, and I still have those coins. I'm looking at it. Wow, man, these things are worth some money now. Like, these things I wish I would have gotten more.
What are they worth? I'm really concerned. What are they worth?
No. Just got wedding to pay for.
Well, I mean, let me tell you, if you get a St. Pierre, octagon, it's going anywhere from $900 to about $1,100.
I'm glad I have your phone number. I'll be calling you shortly.
So Kaainoa, I was telling these guys, I forgot the name of your it was Vandal Eyewear, right? That was
Vandal Eyewear. Yes.
Yeah. So BJ Penn used to wear the Vandal sunglasses all the time. That's how I met Kaainoa, and we did a fashion show at UFC 100 as well. That was fun. That was a great time. I forgot all about the fashion.
Yep. So Vandal Eyewear, right? I mean, if you remember, I was one of John Jones's very first sponsor when he was fighting out of Bomb Squad in New York City, and he fought Stephen Bonner.
Yep.
So on that one there, Vandal was like his big sponsor. And I'll tell you a funny story. When he told me, hey, man, send me a box of glasses, I said, no problem. And this is like right after, September 11th and then everything that was going on in New York. So on the box, I put, John Jones Bomb Squad.
Oh, no.
And Vandal Eyewear. Man, I get to the post office. They wanted to arrest me, call the cop. What is this, a bomb in here? What is this? I was like, no, that's just his training. His Bomb Squad training facility.
Wow. That's funny.
Can't make that story up.
No, definitely couldn't.
So Kaainoa, being a collector, being in the space, if there was one piece of memorabilia that you could have from anything, any sport, anywhere in the world, what would you have in your possession?
Right now, I would say a Shohei Ohtani jersey.
Yeah.
Or access to his bank account.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or just his gambling account. No.
Exactly. Let me tell you
just his booking number. Let me just get it.
Let me tell you what kind of collector I am. So I started collecting an up-and-coming New England Patriot quarterback. I mean, helmets, jerseys, cards, you name it, I got it. And then he got hurt, and Tom Brady took over.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I got Bledsoe. Well, Bledsoe was supposed to be the
Bledsoe.
next guy.
You got bled, all right.
Yeah.
yes. It's almost like a meme already. You got Bledsoe.
I got Bledsoe.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Tom Brady roast where they were just busting his chops the whole time. I don't know why Bledsoe even showed up there. I wouldn't have.
He did great, though.
At the roast.
All right.
He probably got paid good money to go there.
I'm sure he did. Kaainoa, congratulations, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep us posted on when your shop opens. Maybe we'll take a knockout radio trip to Hawaii.
That'd be awesome, man. That would definitely be awesome.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for calling in, man. I miss you, man.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Take care.
All right, there you have it.
Kaainoa Ravey.
That it's just, I didn't know 2, 3, and 4. So I did the little bit of research that I normally do. I reached out to Ryan, and to be honest, I'm like, come on. This card, I don't care what card, will be enough money to open a shop. I expected, he thought it was going to be between $18,000 and $22,000. Still a lot of money.
Yeah.
$53,000. And he got 3 others.
Wow. That's crazy.
But look, my devil's advocate is, the inflation of the price of the value set by the market. I mean, I remember Logan Paul wearing like a 1-of-1 Pokemon card.
$175,000.
Yeah, and now it's worth nothing. I mean, a lot of these guys that got into Bitcoin, all these
for sure.
holograms,
No,
and
for sure.
buying all these things. It was set
look,
by the market.
Kaainoa is going to have to pay taxes on it, whether he sells it or not under Kamala Harris's plan.
Whoa.
Ain't that true?
I guess we are a variety show.
Seriously, man.
But
how lucky? Yeah, you know what? There's got to be. What do you think, Randy? You're in this business. You collect cards and other stuff. What are the chances of one shop
having 3
boxes
Yeah.
with 3 1-of-1s?
Well,
let me see. Hold on.
The thing that
Wait, Steve says it's easy. Why do you think it's easy, Steve?
It all went to one region. And
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
Hold
It all
on.
went
Let me
to
see
one region.
I got to see what my odds are.
Well, it's Hawaii, so they're getting things later than the mainland.
I thought it was strange that it went to the mainland.
Right.
I've always wondered, do they know as they're boxing it up?
Right. Maybe they don't. Maybe.
Well, they say they don't.
Right.
And again, I'm critical of anything and everything.
That's why I don't play online poker, because they say they don't see your cards,
Right.
but they see your cards, and there's somebody in the shop playing against you.
Back to what Matt said, which almost made sense, even though I couldn't understand him through that stick in his mouth, that when you get it, you should sell it instantly. But people want to collect it. And then you hold on to it. And then, like he said, now the value's dropped.
Mark McGuire.
When I was in the military, I was buying Ricky Henderson's like it was going out of style. They were up to a couple $100. I think Ryan said they're still about 80, but they were up to 300, I think. And I'm like, I'm not selling Ricky Henderson. He's my favorite ball player right now. You got to be, if you're either going to collect or you got to be in it to sell, to turn to profit and all that kind of stuff. So
It's all about time.
good for him getting rid of it.
But my question, though, and this is not against the card business, but if I know what you just said, and Randy, you agreed that the value does go down, why would I spend $53,000 on a card when I know the value is going to go down?
Status. Why would you spend $24 million for a Babe Ruth
Well, that's different.
jersey?
That's different.
Who
Because
cares?
people think this is going to go up. And it's like stock. It's like a stock. You're buying it instantly, or when it's low, you think you're going to sell it. He bought it for 53. Maybe he thinks he can sell it for 140.
You don't think that the $24 million for the jersey was a flex of just like, I have the money, I'm going to just be obnoxious? It's a status in my mansion.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, you
I
think
don't
it's
know.
gonna buy for an investment?
Hold on. I don't think it's necessarily that I'm going to be obnoxious. I mean,
Is it going to go higher in value? You think you bought it for an investment?
I don't know. But
Really?
if you have $24 million
To spend
on a jersey, it's not you're being obnoxious. You have the money to afford it. I know people who have stupid money.
Okay, let me ask you a real question before you go to this break. What would it cost to drain the lake where the Yankees had spring ball in St. Pete to find an original Babe Ruth spring training baseball?
All right. I know that's a serious question, so I won't call you a moron. First, you can't prove it. You can't prove this ball was hit by Babe Ruth
If it had
40
a
years
phone
ago.
number on it, I absolutely could find it.
That wasn't Babe Ruth that gave him the ball.
Oh, you didn't name him, so he was like keeping it anonymous. I figured it was Babe Ruth.
First of all, if you would have listened, it was in New York. So that's not at the lake at Puryear Park. where balls probably did land in there. Babe Ruth did play there. Mickey Mantle did play there. Almost a legitimate question, but no.
If you find a baseball in the park, it's pretty good chances. It's
You know what kind of shape that ball would be in? It'd be the rubber ball. Do you know what's in the center of a baseball?
rubber bands.
A rubber ball.
Yeah, it's rubber.
No, it's a rubber ball. It's string around a little rubber ball. So, but no, the values of stuff, you got to sell when you can. And my wife wished I would have sold a lot of stuff as it sits in storage.
What's the number one thing you held on to too long?
Everything.
Posters.
Everything. Everything.
Yeah, everything lost its value.
Well, no,
And, I don't, and I regret after talking to Kaainoa, and you reminded me of Jeremy Fulton. This guy would give me boxes of cards every time he came in once a week for a good 6 months, and I just let anybody, the studio crew, grab him. It didn't mean anything to me, and I had no idea that these things were worth money.
$3,000 a box hurts.
I mean, I had about 100 Affliction shirts. 100. I just gave them away. And you know how much Affliction shirts are?
I had 100 or so tap out shirts until they got stolen.
I believe it.
Well, you gonna tell us that story?
Hold on, let me get my pen. We're gonna have to go to break. You might be a while. Oh, why you talk about my cigar when your affiliate from Las Vegas, your guy Jimmy Denning, proudly displays photos of him with a stick in his mouth?
Okay, here's the difference, idiot.
Mine doesn't have weed in it.
Yeah.
First of all, he smokes his.
Well, that's
You
even
just
worse.
look like
He's worse.
he doesn't sing with one in his mouth. He doesn't talk with one in his mouth.
But I'm drug free.
Maybe he's not ambidextrous.
I'll tell you who the Yankees player was if you want to.
Yeah, do it.
It's Soriano. Alphonse Soriano. He was a rookie. He was on the on-deck circle, and he was like flirting with this girl behind me. And sure enough, he's like, threw the ball to me and said, give it to the girl behind.
I was going to say what I thought it was, but now that you said who the player was, I shouldn't say what I'm going to say because it's not a very nice, it's not negative, but maybe, he had his eyes on you, not her.
Oh. Whoa, shots fired.
No, honestly, that's what I thought. A guy flips a ball, as Mike was telling the story, the point and give it to the person came later in the story. He said that a player flipped him a ball with a phone number on it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so he didn't receive it well, and he's like, oh no, the girl behind you then.
No, he
Okay.
he meant it for her.
no, I understand that. I understand
He
that.
knew I could catch it, and anyhow, that's not even the point.
Did you call him?
Yeah.
They became real good
Yeah,
friends.
what's his number?
What do you think about when a player, throws a ball, looks at a kid, throws a ball, and an adult jumps in front? And
Oh, I
grabs
want to
it?
punch the adult in the face. I think it's ridiculous. And, a guy who hasn't been raised correctly, selfish people, I really, really hate
His
that.
dad.
And I guess what happened at the Masters, I think it was the Masters, when the number one golfer in the world flipped a ball and the guy took it, he chased him down,
Oh, wow.
to get it back and give it to who he wanted to give it to.
Good.
Yeah, good for him.
What's
Yeah.
inside of a golf ball?
I don't know. I've never cracked one open.
Cork.
Is it
I
cork?
think so, yeah.
Not rubber.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a golf ball inside of a baseball.
Who's going to be the player of the year? Are you into golf at all?
No, I'm not.
This is a huge controversy. Who's going to win? The guy who's won more. I can't remember.
Masters?
Well, no, the guy who won the Masters, and the other guy who won the gold medal. I don't think Scotty and Xavier, but it's between Scotty and Xavier. One won the Masters, the other won the gold. The other one of the two won two of the big four tournaments. So who, it's the gold medal, the two big tournaments, who won more tournaments. That's kind of what the argument is. And what I do like is the players are voting for this. So the players are going to make that decision, which is better than fans, media, whatever.
Well, I won't start watching golf until it's part of the state park system.
I don't like watching golf because I don't like gym.
This is pound for pound the best fight in the world, Floyd Mayweather, and you're talking sports with Randy, the best in the world, Harris.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, If you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong. Got bills? Looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is. As the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast and Texas, Staff Zone has plenty of work to go around, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go now to www.thestaffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Christopher Cruz. The Supreme Court today refused to revive President Biden's student debt relief plan. Details